All right, we're going to dive right into this one. Um, Latanya will walk her bike from her house to the bike shop, which is 1.5 miles from her house, to get the bike fixed. She expects to wait 30 minutes for the repair. Then she will ride her bike home. Can she be home in 1 hour? So here's what we are trying to figure out. Let's kind of write it out in words. The time that she's spending. First, she is walking, right? Then she's got her time at the shop. Then she's got a bike home. And that's going to give us our total time. And the question is, can she do this in 1 hour? This is the thing we don't know. All right, so let's write this out as an equation. So walking, we know how far she has to go and the rate at which she walks. So how we set that up is we take her distance, her 1.5 miles, and we divide it by her rate of 3 miles per hour. In addition to that, her time of her shop. Now, they said that was 30 minutes, but if you notice, everything else in the problem is in a unit of hours. So 30 minutes is how much of an hour? It's just 1/2 of an hour. And then to bike home, she has her distance of 1.5 over the rate at which she can bike is 10 miles per hour. And that's going to equal her total time, T. So let's solve for T. Well, T is already by itself, but basically, how are we going to add these three together? Well, you might notice that we have fractions. Best way to get rid of fractions is to do my favorite thing called I call it a fraction trick. We're going to take this entire equation, we're going to multiply it by a common denominator. So our denominators are 3, 2, and 10. So look at the biggest number. Do 3 and 2 fit into 10? Nope. What's the next multiple of 10? 20. 10 fits into 20. 2 fits into 20. Does 3 fit into 20? No. Next multiple of 10 is 10 times 3, which is 30. 10 fits into 30. 2 fits into 30. And 3 fits into 30. So we're going to multiply this entire equation by 30. So here's how that looks. We're going to take 30 times the top number. 30 times 1.5 is 45. Then we're going to take that 45 and divide it by 3. 45 divided by 3 is 15. That's where I got the 15 from. Now we're going to take 30 and we're going to multiply it by the top number. 30 times 1 is 30. Divide it by 2. 30 divided by 2 is another 15. Now again, 30 times the top number. 30 times 1.5 is 45. 45 divided by 10 is 4.5. And we can't forget the 30 also gets multiplied to the t, 30t. So that fraction trick, you guys are going to fall in love with that idea. When you're solving equations that involve fractions, you can do this as long as every single term throughout the entire equation gets multiplied by it. All right, let's combine these terms over here. 15 plus 15 is 30, plus 4 is 34.5, equals 30t. Let's solve for our time by dividing both sides by 30. That gives us 1.15 equals t, but let's rewrite it. T equals 1.15, and then our time was in hours. So can she do all this in 1 hour? No, she can't. It's going to take 1.15 hours. So she cannot be home in 1 hour. Nope, we just answered the question. All right, well, that wasn't so bad. Let's take a look at another one. Oh, a couple more. Okay. Latanya leaves her house at 12:30 p.m. and bikes 12 miles per hour to Marta's house. She stays at Marta's house for 90 minutes. Both girls walk back to Latanya's house at 2.5 miles per hour. They arrive at Latanya's house at 3:30 p.m. How far is Marta's house from Latanya's house? Okay, well, let's think about it in words again. So first, Latanya is going to Marta's house. So the distance between the houses, I'm just going to call it house distance. So she's going from one house to the other house, and then she's going to stay there. She's going to stay at Marta's house, right? For 90 minutes. And then they walk back. So we have more walking. That house distance again, same as if she walks to one house and walks back home, it's that same house distance. And we want to know if she can do this at 3:30. How far is it? So how long did that take? Again, this is our time, kind of like we did before, but we know how long this time. If she left at 12:30 and she got back at 3:30, our time is 3. Okay, so setting up our equation, what we don't know is the distance between the houses, but we know the rate that they take to get there. So if you take the distance between the houses and divide it by, so when LaTanya bikes, she bikes 12 miles per hour. So she's going the distance to the other house at 12 miles per hour, plus they stay for 90 minutes. All right, well, 90 minutes is 1.5 hours. So we want this all in the same unit, so 1.5 hours. Plus, now to get back to LaTanya's house, again, we don't know that distance of getting back, but we do know that they're walking back at their rate, their speed of 2.5 miles per hour. And all of that takes 3 hours. Okay, well, let's solve this equation. We got fractions, multiply everything by a common denominator. This amazing fraction trick. So a common denominator, if you look, we have a denominator of 12 and 12.5. A quick way to get a common denominator is to actually multiply those two numbers together. 12 times 2.5 is 30. Look at us using that 30 again. We're going to multiply every single term by 30. Okay, so remember what we do is we multiply to the top. That's just an x, but there is a 1. So 30 times 1 is 30, divided by 12 is 2.5, and that x just carries down. 30 times 1.5 is 45. Now 30 times, there's just a 1 in front of the x, so 30 times 1 is 30, divided by 2.5 is 12. Equals, and then we can't forget to take the 30 multiplied to the other side as well. 30 times 3 is 90. Oh, and then did you guys notice what I forgot? This x right here, it does carry down, so it actually is a 12x. All right, combine like terms. You have 2.5x plus 12x gives us 14.5x plus 45 equals 90. To solve, we're going to subtract 45 from both sides. 14.5x equals 45. Divide both sides by 14.5. And then x equals, so when you divide that on your calculator, you get a decimal number. So we'll just round about 3.1. I'm just rounding to the nearest tenth. Now remember, x was representing the distance between their houses. So how far is Marta's house from LaTanya's house? It's about 3.1 miles. That's what we just figured out. Okay, so I'm going to make a game time decision here. I can see that there is one more example to talk about. We're not going to do that in a video right now. If I feel that you need it in your notes later, we can fill it in class, but I think we all would agree this video is already too long. So there you go. Have a wonderful evening.